Well, we're waiting for Andy.
You good?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
So we have some ACH payments.
Yep.
One for $715,570,
Co-op,
and one for $220,265.
Swayze.
Swayze.
Oh, yeah, Bill's here.
Taxes
How you
went
doing, Bill?
Taxes went down though, Bill.
We just lost $1 million.
Well spent.
Now I'm warning everyone, I forgot about the
Okay.
$2,000.
Do you want me to hold the papers?
Do you have the
Yeah.
check register?
I have the check.
You have the check register?
All right, ready? There's only a few of these. Matthew Bergeron, $373.57. Charles Fitzgerald III, $76.68. Maria Folsom is $25.56. Timothy Lindeman is $232.08. Carrie Mason is $16.94. Kristen Patch is $497.80. Chad B. South is $25.56. When you're ready.
Good one you are.
Andrea Bickham, $636.14. Joseph Bird, $923.64. Katie Blazik Ahern, $600.89. Kendra Brackett, $535.96. John Bryant is $865.83. Gabriel Burgess Labonte is $109.57. Karen Clement is $1,098.37. Jeffrey Collins, $725.86. Charlene Confalone is $71.57. Katie Coppola is $223.03. Eli Corson is $62.62. Evan Crafts is $178.27. Pete Culligan is $441.87. Alyssa Sanuski is $446.97. Edwin Decatur III is $74.52. Kiki Donis Wall is $685.78. Robert Gagnon Jr. is $300.55. Jason Gagnon is $164.10.
Library.
Shayla Gherkin is $78.96. Jason Grant is $490.64. Andrew Gray is $508.14.
Library.
Lily Grodzicki is $87.73. Alexander Hall is $399.62. Mary Lyons Hall is $188.39. John Isabel is $100.57. Kip Kaiser is $773.01. Joyce Keeble is $543.93. Matthew Kelly is $679.54. Erica Kenyon is $645.88. William Kenyon is $18.14. Kevin Nealon is $821.29. Julie Labonte is $1,703.91. Olivia Matthews is $98.66. Connor McCullen is $46.01. Aaron Mitchell is $349.66. Casey Newell is $30.67. Sarah Parkhurst is $726.82. Nathan Richards is $271.37. Wayne Robinson is $946.12. Richard Sawyer is $1,734.72. Christopher Spitaleri is $903.53. Katrina Tennant is $709.86. Josh Turner is $149.82. James Spears is $779.19. Jeremy Worcester is $423.01. Daphne Ross is $711.27. Jared Wright Ward is $845.44.
For a total of $23,911.44.
The grand total is $25,159.63.
Any overtime?
Yeah, we have 5 hours of PD, 14 in the fire department, and 2 in the highway.
Tell me when you're ready.
Good to go?
ASAP landscaping design is $3,750. Bergeron protective clothing is $440.53. Block 5 technologies is $152.50. Boundtree Medical is $15.36. Center for Occupational Health is $600 even. Chapel Tractor is $11.98. Citizens Bank is $83.93. Comcast is $258.41. E&J Auto Parts second is $86.88. Hartman Oil and Propane is $1,211.77. Haven is $1,600. Health Trust Inc. is $24,147.87. Joyce Keegle is $137.31. Key Collision Center, Portsmouth is $3,734.04. What's that for?
Cartoon.
Cruiser.
Julie Labonte is $70. James Michaud is $2,000. Heather Worski is $1,054.72. James Peel is $200. Quadient Leasing USA is $848.82. Rockingham Community Action is $5,707. Seacoast Mental Health Center is $1,500 even. Starkey Welding and Crane is $62.50. Uniforce Corporation is $57.19. Valak is $186.45. WB Mason is $103.16. MD Weaver Corporation is $358, and that's all I got.
Total there is $48,378.42.
We have 2 rec checks. Madam Treasurer.
All right. Previous balance, $3,294,007.67. The deposits were $98,794.10. The payroll is $25,159.63. Payroll tax, $6,159.34. The AP is $984,213.42. 2 voided checks that amounted to $200. Account balance is $2,377,469.38. The interest earned year to date is $2,036.13.
Thanks, Joyce.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Make a motion for non-public now?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's yours, Tim.
T&M One Yoke Family Trust, 23 Ponds Drive, for a 12 by 14 deck. Andrew Giaquinta, 75 Dudley Road, replace roof. 26 Spruce Ridge Drive, install pool and spa. Allen Hall, 2 Wendell Drive, rooftop solar system. Ryan Ducharme, 41 Eleanor's Way, wire pool. KG Realty Holding LLC, 113 Collie Falls Road, rough and finish plumbing for new dwelling. Route 125 LLC, 326 Route 125, electrical for new office or shop. Julie Hale, 91 Collie Falls Road, install concrete pad for generator. Michael Como, 27 Michael Bennett Road, replace roof. And Dunham Revocable Trust, 9 Block Drive, relocate bathroom switches and light fixtures.
Yep. We're gonna do the notes.
So A2 is out of service. Chief Bird thinks that it may be a transmission issue, so he doesn't have an ETA when that will be returned back to service.
Is that the older one or the newer
I
one?
think that's the older one. Trooper Cheryl's service is tomorrow at 11 a.m. at the arena in Manchester. The officers need to be there for 8, so the sheriff's department will cover the town while Brentwood attends service there.
Do you know if Sawyer's gonna be attending that or not?
When I spoke to him today, he wasn't gonna be attending, he was gonna be part of the procession up and down 125, helping with traffic that way. I heard Spitalier, Worcester, Gagnon were attending.
Okay.
This is the Eversource abatement for settlement payment number 5. There's only one more to go, July of 2022, and then
Do you
we'll
need
be
a
done.
motion for that?
Might as well.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
They overpaid their taxes for several years in a row, and the agreement is to pay them back in a 4-year time frame. We have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
They didn't technically overpay, we
Overcharged.
overbilled.
I like my way better.
One way or another, we're paying them back.
And then this is the abatement refund for 301 South Road.
This is the one that we spoke about last week.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
I have a request from a call firefighter for a personal leave of absence for a period of 90 days.
She's,
Moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Well, that was easy enough.
That's not the one we were talking about. the one person.
No, no, no. She plans on coming back in February.
Thank you.
Andrea, you get the green chair.
You're up.
You want this back?
You can just put it in the mail file, that would be fine. Thank you.
Do you want me to go line by line, or what would you like to know?
Well,
So the wage proposed is based off of the wage adjustment that
Right.
was already discussed. And then if you want to review
Go.
any big changes.
Any big changes? Okay. Let's see. So actually, the circuit rider, is level funded again. He's been doing that for, this is, I think, the 3rd year. The long-term planning line, I had originally had in 7,000, and then I talked to Tim Roach with RPC, because I wanted to have RPC update some master plan chapters going forward, and they said, doing it piecemeal, sometimes 7,000 will get you 1 to 2 chapters depending on the chapter. So I talked to Tim Roach, he actually said that they have approximately 3,500 to 4,000 in transportation funding that they could offset it. He said, so reduce your budget to 5,
okay,
they'll pay the difference, and we can get possibly 1 to 2 chapters that
Alright.
way. So they would be kicking in money for that. So I reduced my request to 5,000, which is a 9% decrease from last year's 5,500.
okay.
And this will be the first time that we've been, we probably did some master plan chapters with RPC years ago, but this is like just starting up again
Right,
to keep it going. The difference in this budget is adding a new account line for an economic development plan creation, with input from the for the master plan chapter to be created and RPC to help with guidance from the Economic Development Committee, and they were asking for $3,500 for that. So that's a new account line.
Because that is specifically related to the estimated amount of time, correct me at any point, please.
Okay.
But we tied that number to the specific amount of time that's estimated to put one of these chapters together for the master plan, and working with RPC based on their hourly rate. And
Okay.
so that's where that figure
Yeah,
came
they,
from.
they charge about $73 an hour, I think he said.
Yeah.
So this will be a new
Yeah.
chapter in the book?
Yes, because it doesn't actually exist.
We don't, currently we don't have an economic development chapter in our
In the
master plan. But this would be like in conjunction with, they're just starting the committee, they're starting to get some research. So, I mean, it's not gonna happen right away, but whatever they find out, they could work with RPC to get a chapter started. And that 3,500 would be part of that.
Can we
So-
use impact fees for that?
That's a Karen.
Well, it is new, and that's,
Capital improvement based on,
Do we get capital
It's not based
impact
on
fees
growth,
for?
I'm sorry?
It's not based on growth, it's based on trying to make more growth.
Okay. So maybe that's not appropriate, okay.
I was just wondering if we could, because I don't know how much impact fees are.
well,
allotted
enough to
for-
cover that, but.
Here's my thought process, if I, like, just to be totally upfront with you all about this.
Well, we'd appreciate that, John.
Well, I try. So, the committee, even along with Darren, we can put together a chapter, right, that could be incorporated into Brentwood's master plan. However, we haven't done this before.
Well, the nuances are important, I understand.
And I think that having the guidance from an experienced professional in this realm would be helpful. So that's why I've asked
Okay.
Andrea to do this.
I think it's very important and appropriate.
Yeah, I was just hoping maybe we could use, like,
Me
because I
too.
know on the impact fees, I know on the impact fees, if we don't use them, we have to give them back.
Yeah, but we have,
So I didn't know what we use them, do we have impact fees for the planning board?
We have them for the town office, so
Okay.
they would tap into those funds.
so I'm sorry?
Andrea,
Yes,
do you know how much you're gonna have left in your budget? Approximate?
for this year?
Yes. Because it looks like right now there's 50,000.
No. No, from the balance from planning board for this year, balance remaining year to date, I've got about 25,000. Does that make sense?
So these numbers would have been from September when I drafted the
Okay.
original
Yeah.
Okay.
worksheets.
So, my end game on this was, is it 3,500 we can encumber and do a contract this year, or start the contract this year? Is there $3,500 worth of playroom in their budget to start the process this year?
I think there could be if the town was willing to absorb the full cost of the master plan, of the impact fee
Impact
update.
fee assessment, because I was gonna do 4,250 for my budget, to, cover half of it, of the impact fee assessment.
Well,
But if I don't do that, then yes, we could cover.
Well, the school board is undecided, we have to wait until December before
To
we
fig- yeah,
we get
right.
a notification.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an option, I guess.
Well, no, because, I mean, either,
You have to start it
if
this
she
year.
doesn't
though.
have it,
But you guys have started this year.
no, but she doesn't have it, because we gotta do the impact fees and she won't have it, so there's no, I'll move the 112,932.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second? Do we-
oh wait, sorry, that's including encumbered funds, which we don't normally include in the whole budget. So the whole budget for planning and zoning would be 110,083, which would be 8.21% increase.
110 or 108?
110,083,
Where is that number?
Where-
Oh, it's on the next page.
yeah.
So that's planning and zoning.
That's
Oh,
planning,
planning
that's
and
planning and zoning,
I'm sorry,
yeah. Did you want just planning?
yes.
So
Planning would be 108,682, which would be 8% increase, and that's with that $3,500 in there.
So motion for one
And then
oh
I'll amend my motion to 106,
108.
108,682.
682.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
And
And
then
then-
for zoning, it's a decrease?
Yep, so zoning, so the wages for ZBA, I was pretty much just, they always had kept that separate from planning board, and the wages, I would just put in my time for when I actually had a meeting, so I put in like an hour here, 2 hours there, so that's why it doesn't really show a lot coming out of that. And so I talked to Karen, and we were like, why don't we just absorb, the planning board just absorb that, just all the wages would just be through the planning board for both boards.
Okay,
And then leave the line items open with $1 in case it ever had to revert back to that. But then adding a new account line for ZBA for legal services, because we didn't currently have that. So anytime anything happened with the ZBA that you'd get legal advice, it would come out of the planning board budget anyway. So I was just thinking, well, leave the dollars, add $1,000 in wages, actually is $998.
Do you,
Kind of looks like a wash.
do you know what ZBA spent in legal this year so far?
Yes, I have that. Hang on.
well, I know we had an opinion or two.
So is, on legal fees, you mean?
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't have that, but I know it was a couple $100.
You what?
It was a few $100.
Because I'm seeing in legal too, for just looking back at the other budget, because you said usually it was absorbed in the planning budget.
Yes.
Well, this would be September, right, number 1602, do we know what the current price?
So legal year-to-date for planning was 1601.
And that's actually gone up. I have the November one, and it's 1992.80. I've almost spent the entire legal services line between planning board and zoning board this year.
And that's including ZBA and
Yes,
planning?
yep,
So
yep.
if you can get me that number, because the budget committee's gonna want that number.
Yep, just kind of check and see which one came out of that, sure.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
so if you can, like the last couple years, if you can find it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what's the 40s average?
well, we had a couple contentious items this year.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
like 3 years ago, we had one zoning board
Right,
hearing,
I was the chairman at the time, yes, I remember.
so.
I don't know that we would have 4 years worth of legal invoices, because we only have to keep them 1 year plus audit, so.
Okay,
All right, so let's have a motion on the 1401.
I'll make a motion for the 1401.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. I was just saying thank you.
You can leave.
Okay, all right, great, thanks.
You're good.
Run!
Run.
Town admin.
Ah, the next one.
Karen.
Okay,
It's mine based off of the wage adjustment.
okay.
So the only changes are salaries and then taxes and New Hampshire retirement.
Wait, what are we looking at?
Page, like, 2 pages, or 3
From the
pages
rear.
from the rear.
Town administrator,
TA?
3 pages from the rear, town administrator,
landscape,
account 4130.
We already went over this last week anyway.
Right.
So I make a motion to accept the $111,273.
Second.
Why were we waiting?
Could you say the figure again?
111,273. Why were we waiting?
Waiting on,
Should we talk about this last week?
yes.
that was part of the pay matrix thing that we.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
So, we said we would address it with each individual budget when it came up.
Okay.
Jonathan made the motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Next one
Here's
is
finance.
finance.
So the 110 line is the treasurer. The 115 line is the administrative assistant. So so that drops one position and then, brings the Sarah up to full-time position. So payroll taxes, New Hampshire retirement are in here, and then Plodzik is level funded based off of actual expenses.
We didn't increase the treasurer line at all?
No, because Joyce is she's not using a deputy, or the deputy she has is not requiring payment, so she's absorbing that extra.
Okay.
The total amount for the treasurer goes directly to Joyce? Okay.
Yeah, so we've been able to drop it, well, Cameron was able to drop it by over, close to $20,000.
Right,
So I'll make a motion for the $84,016.
Second.
okay, we have a motion, a second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great job with that, Karen.
Thank you.
Great job.
Next one is budget committee. Looks like it's level funded, so I'll make a motion for the level funding of budget committee at $500.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright,
Okay.
I feel like there should be more, that's all I have.
Well, now we got for budgets.
There you go.
Was the budget committee okay with the change that we did,
What change?
the BNL? The general?
We haven't met yet.
Tomorrow night.
You guys don't meet Monday nights anymore?
Wednesday,
So what's on your agenda tomorrow?
all the budgets that we've approved,
All of them, okay.
so last week and,
This week.
So they didn't meet last week at all?
no,
I think I'll be in attendance tomorrow.
welcome,
What time's that, 7?
6:30.
I was supposed to be, but they're gonna have the select board, the conservation board meeting now at the same time too, so.
So where are you guys meeting?
Library.
You guys can meet in the other room too if you want.
Sanborn?
John's got the other room for
Yeah.
econ development.
So we're gonna be in the library.
Full house here tomorrow.
I just get to walk in my backyard.
Well,
Okay.
it could be closer for him, I think.
That's right.
Any other items?
You guys could
Nope.
spit back and forth with each other.
Okay.
I would never spit at him. Not in his lifetime. Not Andy.
You could play catch.
That's right.
Any questions or statements from the board?
I have a board comment. Everybody knows that I'm a pretty straight shooter. Somebody addressed something with me today that was a little concerning. A picture was taken from this table last week, obviously taken to hide it because it was taken like a little kid would take a picture of a teenage girl. I don't think dirty politics belongs at this table, and that's just my opinion.
And I'll actually come out. I actually was taking a picture, I was actually joking with a few people because we had a scarecrow in the back that I actually called Henry. And I sent that out there. And I know I got a comment back that somebody actually posted another character that was inside there of Bernie Sanders with gloves on. And I was like, it's kinda cute, it's funny. It is what it is. I don't have a problem taking a picture. This is a public meeting. It's open. If I take a picture because there's a scarecrow in the back that I think is humorous, and we're listening to a bunch of discussions about budgets and some stuff that goes on for long periods of time, this is a public meeting. We are recording it at all times.
I agree. I'm just saying that if I took a picture of the scarecrow, I would have taken a picture like this, and not like this.
Well, I was taking pictures.
That was
all
my
the
own
time, so
comment, Bob.
That's fine.
Okay.
I have nothing to hide about it, and I was not afraid of a picture being taken, just like I've seen people taking pictures all the time when we're in meetings. I don't have a problem with that. So if somebody's offended by that, that's their own issue. They gotta live by their own convictions.
Any other comments from the board?
I'd like to second what Andy said. The picture was publicized in a very public forum, and it was conduct unbecoming a select board member. It was harassing and threatening.
I think those are very strong
I'm
words.
not harassing and threatening toward a duly elected, a member of another board, and constituents that we are supposed to represent. It goes against everything that's written in the code of conduct that we all signed, and it's disappointing that we can't even be honest and say, hey, I screwed up, I'm sorry.
I don't think it had anything to do with attacking anybody. I was pointing out a fact that
Should I read the article that that was.
That article had nothing to do with me. I did not write the article, nor do I know who the author is. I can also say that, there was a duly elected official that was quoted and had actually posted on social media, that, get vaccinated, you filthy animals, and wear a damn mask. And they were the ones that were called out for not having a mask.
Interesting, okay.
But that person posted on a public forum also, so again, I don't criticize them for it. That's their choice. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Mr. Chairman, if that's how we act on this board, then we are being, and we're not calling it out for what it is,
Well, it's
We're
on the
not doing
table,
our
John,
job.
it's being called out at the moment, okay?
as a group,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Yep.
And, we're not doing our duty, and we're acting in a cowardly manner if we do not stand up.
My
This-
integrity
this
is not in question here,
I'm not saying anything about you.
okay?
What I'm saying is, in order for this type of behavior to stop, in order for our town to move in a more professional direction, in order for us to act like adults, we need to call this type of behavior out, and we need to say it's unacceptable. And that's the type of statement that I think this board should be able to easily, without any reservation.
Well, hearing both sides, I can see the validity in what Bob is saying, and I understand what Andy and you are saying.
You think that he's taking, okay.
So he's talking about me. I don't know if you know that. He's talking about me.
I was actually taking a picture of the
No, no,
scarecrow,
I'm
which you
talking
happen
about-
to be a part of.
No, no,
so.
no, I'm talking about, you were
The
saying I
filthy
posted-
animal? Yeah, because that was part of the article that was sent over to me today.
I understand, but so if, Mr. Chair, if you wanted more context to the post that he's talking about, I'd be happy to provide that for you, if that's something that you'd like.
Well, I've already shared it.
Now, are you the author of that article?
I am not I am the subject of that article.
I'm sorry?
I'm the subject of that article.
Would you repeat?
The article?
Yeah.
Sure. The post that she was criticized says, "This is my fourth large batch of masks I have made over the last 18 months. Every time I do this, I think it will be the last time. I am so angry," and she bolded "so angry, I have to do this again. What happened to taking care of others, doing things for the betterment of the community? If my children," and she capitalized that, "are willing to do it, why aren't you? Get vaccinated, you filthy animals. Wear a damn mask." And I took a picture, it has a scarecrow in there. It's of the audience. It was me sitting here like during a meeting, and I'm not gonna stop a meeting and go, "Oh, that's pretty humorous." And I was texting with people and I said, "Check out the scarecrow." So I sent that out. Now somebody zoomed in and showed that the person, the elected official, didn't have a mask on, sitting in the audience. I know you didn't have a mask when you were at the planning board either. Didn't take a picture of that one. There is a scarecrow here with masks and a goggle on and everything else. They used that, they zoomed in, and even if you look at the picture, it's kind of fuzzy because they zoomed in pretty big to your picture. So I look at that and I go, okay, they zoomed in. Now, I was sitting here and I went, yep, let me take a picture of that. So
1 second, Liz.
if you're gonna sit out there and tell people that they have to wear a mask,
I
it's hypocritical to sit in an audience in a public room
would
being
you like me to
recorded
go over there and talk?
and not have a mask on. I see today you do. That's great, but if you're gonna criticize that, unfortunately,
I don't.
I don't know who this guy is that wrote the article.
Letty, were you the
Skip.
author of that
His name is
statement?
Skip.
Of which statement?
The one that Bob just read?
The post that I made on my Instagram? Yes.
Well, I don't know where it came from.
Yes, I
I
posted.
thought that was a Facebook post.
You were the editor.
I posted that to my private Facebook that somebody on my board screenshotted and shared to the public, yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's Instagram, it looks like Facebook.
That's, Instagram automatically shares to Facebook because they're owned by the same company. If you'd like to know, the Get Vaccinated Filthy Animals is a reference to Home Alone. I don't know if you're familiar with it's, and I was actually talking about my kids because children are generally disgusting, and I just wish that they could be vaccinated so that they didn't have to wear masks
No,
anymore.
I don't think children are disgusting, but.
Just, kids are gross and dirty. And, okay. I guess yours maybe
My
aren't.
3-year-old's disgusting.
Okay.
Well, quote him, would you please?
I
So
go
we
to stalls
can
every
share
day.
that?
My horses are disgusting too, but you know.
Okay. If, would it be appropriate now to respond to what he's saying about my decisions as a school board member?
It's your choice. And the fact that somebody posted a picture that was taken at a public meeting that I took of a scarecrow and was joking with, I was in a group chat that I was texting back and forth on. That's, they zoomed in clearly to the picture. That's a zoom in.
Letty, let's hear what you have to say too.
Okay, I
It's your
had
turn
written
now.
something up, that's fine.
Is this a Facebook thing?
I don't,
Facebook,
It went into, I don't know, it was on Facebook.
He knows very well it went into Granite Rock, which is a
But I don't know who Granite, I don't know them. I was sent the article today, I read
There's
it.
no more Facebook, is
Yeah.
there?
Hold
Now it's a
on.
matter of-
Letty, let's hear you speak.
Sure.
I wanna hear both sides of the story.
Okay. Mr. Chair,
I
this
stay
comes,
off of social media.
It's not social
it's
media.
fine. Mr. Chair, it has come to my attention that during the meeting last week, a member of this board took a picture of me, which was then publicized in an apparent attempt to discredit or harass me as a member of the Brentwood School Board. While I know it isn't illegal to take a picture of someone without their consent when in a public space, I think his conduct was incredibly inappropriate and wonder how his actions were intended to lead to anything other than further strife within our town. As the Board of Selectmen handbook says, keep in mind that the eyes of Brentwood are upon you. The things you say and do, and the people you associate with, are a reflection on your character as an official who is elected to represent the Brentwood community. Lastly, in the future, if somebody wants to take a picture of me, I invite them to do me the courtesy of letting me know so I can at least smile.
Thank you.
That's it.
Liz, you had a question or a statement?
Here,
I did, I just wondered if it was such a mistake and it was totally unintentional, if Mr. Mantagari then will write to that organization and tell them that that was not his intention, that he was actually focusing on a scarecrow behind the people that were pictured there. And also, if anybody has any questions about what the granite rock is, because again, Mr. Mantagari seems to be pretending he doesn't know, this is from a description that they published themselves. We are a feared, extremist, right-wing, hard-charging, gun-toting, opinionated, outspoken, rabble-rousing publication. And so if he disagrees with what they said and what they did, then I would think that he would, and your board would ask him to then write to them and tell them that it was totally misconstrued, that he didn't mean to put one of our elected officials on the line and have people make opinions about her and other people in the room inadvertently, because that wasn't his intention.
Well, I'm saying it here publicly. But my other thing would be, and I know reading the article, they actually called you out also for not having a mask on. And my thought is if you would like to call out and say that you have to wear a mask, what's your intention? Is your intention that you feel people should wear a mask, but it's okay when you don't have to? That's hypocrisy. It's hypocritical. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. They are not required in here. But I know that was one of the things that they said in there. That was not something that I was looking at. And clearly they zoomed into the picture that I had taken because that was what they showed. It's all fuzzy when you look at the picture. It's pixelated. And the picture I took was of the scarecrow sitting there. And actually there's some people, there's I think one person that's in a mask that's in the picture. You know, they point it out, and if they make a statement, if you make a statement on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and that's your public stance, unfortunately, you're the one that came out and said, wear a mask. If somebody picked up on that, on whatever this Granite Rock thing is, I've read the article from Granite Rock, and I know they called out Liz too. It is what it is.
I mean, they got the picture from you. Like,
Well, I sent it to a
know you
group,
didn't-
I sent it to a
understand you
group
didn't
chat.
send- But you're responsible for who you sent it to.
If I'm sitting here in a public meeting and I take a picture, I'm taking a picture, there's a sign right there that says, hey, you're in a public meeting. There's no privacy here, we're recording this thing at all times.
Again, Mr. Artimovich mentioned the fact that if he were to take a picture, he would do it so everybody knows.
I was sitting here like this and I went, there's the picture.
No,
Mr.
no,
Chairman.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
This is much ado about nothing.
It is, it's
All right.
somebody being upset about being caught for being hypocritical.
Okay.
I am not a hypocrite. I am sorry to tell you that.
Mr. Chairman.
This is ridiculous that you would accuse us of being hypocrites. Is there a mask mandate?
There is no mask
There is
mandate in here,
No, there is
unfortunately, we
not.
don't have one.
There you go. There is not a mask mandate.
Right, so I don't know why somebody got upset
I am
about
saying
that.
to a group of people who I know are vaccinated. I don't have to wear a mask.
Right.
I am vaccinated. I will offer that opinion, that information up to anybody. And for somebody to call me out when I can make a decision myself here in this room where there's not a requirement. There have been times that other people have been asked to wear masks when there were requirements, and this is what they choose to do. I don't choose to do that where masks are required.
And
Thank
you're
you,
more
Liz.
welcome to write this guy that wrote the article and say,
I
hey,
think you should.
I don't-
I
why
think
should
you
I-
ought
why
to.
should I do the work for you?
All right, yeah.
You're trying to tell us it's a
I'm not gonna
mistake,
do the
and
work
it's
for
not a
you.
mistake.
Bob, all right.
I told you.
We're
I
done
took a
with this
picture of
topic.
the
Thank you very much.
It is what it is.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that the Board of Selectmen, in totality, supports the other duly elected boards and wants to stay out of this kind of craziness. We don't support or condone this type of behavior.
Well, I really don't think a motion is
I
necessary,
don't
but,
subscribe to Granite Rock.
okay.
I'm an independent.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, that's the motion.
we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I don't think we need to come.
I don't think so either,
I
but,
think we need to,
Guys, if we don't do, this is gonna continue.
no, I don't think so.
Wanna
I think everybody has heard this.
Do you?
I do, I do.
He took a picture of a scare. Okay, all right.
I'm not defending either position.
I know, and that's what's disturbing.
I don't understand the statement, but we're done with the conversation, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Is there any other comments from the public? Yes, sir.
Yes, this is a completely off topic of what we were talking about. I hope that doesn't disturb you. I'm curious if the selections of who's gonna be on the panel for the chief of police, is that public knowledge, number one? And number two, has that?
It's not been, it's not public knowledge. It hasn't been discussed yet.
Oh, so we don't have a panel this week?
No, it's in the formation, but the names have not been given to us yet,
Okay,
right?
yeah, thank you.
And I think we have a 30-day posting right now?
Yes, and it just went up last Thursday.
Okay.
So we have
Oh,
30
so-
days
so
from
30 days from the time, from last week,
last Thursday.
And then you'll convene the panel, or?
Well, then they gonna look through all the applicants,
Yeah.
and then they'll
Decide
narrow
who
it down.
needs to be-
I think they're gonna put it into 3 different categories, and then that's when the panel will decide what they're gonna pull in for interviews.
Will we ever know who the panel is?
Yes,
Okay,
as soon as we
Yeah,
know, you'll
I
know.
was
Thank you.
misinformed, so that's why I wanted the clarification.
Were you misinformed by somebody at this table, or you can't listen to people at the courthouse?
Oh, I have to, it's my job. They tell me the truth, everybody that comes in there tells me the truth. Almost 95% of the people coming in there are innocent.
Okay,
I know that.
we're gonna,
95, is that low?
Well, it's maybe 99.
any other comments from the public?
You're not going in non-public.
We are for personnel.
We don't have to,
No, we just handled that, that was the,
Oh, I thought you meant.
well, it's just that one thing, but you
Okay.
agree.
last chance, any questions? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, my God.
Good night,
can I take a vote on that, Chairman, or?
I did.
For the record, my children are sick and I'm not wearing a mask for a political statement today.
So tomorrow?
Karen has new shoes.
that's what I said.
Yes.